Hello there, friends and neighbors in social media. How are you today? Gary Glass here, just continuing to read Napoleon Hill's The 12 Miracles of Life from the Science of Success. We're really just getting started with this book still. We'll probably read half of the preface today and half tomorrow, and we'll just keep plodding through. And then once we're done with the preface, we actually get to hop into the first miracle of life and the ideas associated with that. So here we go, hopping into the preface. A visit through the valley of life's miracles. Napoleon Hill writes, a little while ago, I turned back the pages of the great book of time in which my own magnificent interlude with life has been recorded. And on the pages marked, quote, things I have discarded as being either harmless or useless in life, close quote, I discovered a gold mine of riches which I shall reveal through this volume. Why did I wait so long to make this discovery of the fabulous riches I had overlooked? The answer will be obvious when the nature of my discovery has been described. Before I could make this discovery, I had to become of age spiritually. I had to trade youth for maturity of age in order to gain sufficient wisdom to give me the capacity to recognize and properly interpret these great riches from within through eyes which are not deceived by the false habits of men. As I slowly turned the pages of this astounding record in the great book of time, I was shocked to discover that everything, every circumstance known to man, every mistake, every failure, and every heartache may become highly beneficial when one relates to them in a spirit of harmony and understanding of their nature and their purpose. And I was agreeably surprised to learn by analyzing all the circumstances of my past, which I had considered unpleasant and harmful at the time, that each of these yielded the things of permanent value which I now possess. During my exploration of this great book of time, I discovered a previously unknown method by which all of man's past failures and mistakes and frustrations may be transmuted into the richest blessings known to mankind. Whew. It was this discovery which left me no alternative but to write this volume for the benefit of those who are groping in darkness for the way to peace of mind, just as I was blindly searching for it for nearly 40 years. Before I rummaged through the scrap heap of the ideas and things I discarded as useless, I believed the secret of successful achievement could be revealed only by studying those who were successful. Having been commissioned by Andrew Carnegie to give the world its first practical philosophy of success, and we'd read about that in a previous reading from this book, and through Mr. Carnegie having had close access to more than 500 of the top ranking successes of his era, I naturally looked to these men of great achievement as the only source of usable knowledge worthy of consideration by those who are trying to find their places in an intensively competitive world. This false conclusion I have now abandoned, for I have discovered that the eternal laws of successful human achievement are as available to the poor and the humble as they are to the rich and the proud. My first shocking realization of this great truth came with my first meeting with an uneducated little man who was born in the South and earned his bread by the sweat of his brow. When I first heard of his story, I sought him out and gave him a searching and critical analysis, for I had a keen desire to learn the true secret of his dramatic rebirth from rags to riches within an unbelievable brief period of time. On a hot summer day, this man stopped at the end of a row of cotton, leaned on his hoe handle, mopped his brow, and cried out in agony, "Oh Lord, why do I have to work like this and get nothing out of it but a hut to sleep in and sow belly to eat?" His cry brought an answer the likes of which no other man had ever heard, and started a series of circumstances which have changed millions of lives of people who were destined to hear his story. I have chosen this humble man's story as an introduction to this chapter because it so perfectly illustrates the soundness of the counsel I shall offer through subsequent chapters. To those who are searching for material riches, peace of mind, and a better understanding of the means of mastering all unpleasant circumstances. Because of the place of his birth and poverty, this man had 2 strikes against him already from the start. But purely by that chance question, he turned in on one of the great miracles of life, which will be described later, and lifted himself to a position of fame and fortune unknown to the majority of peoples, even those who have had the privilege of formal educations in our great universities. First of all, the answer to the man's question gave him contact with the first principle of personal success, that being definiteness of purpose, and a definite plan for its attainment. And that purpose was nothing less than the trading of his old personality for a much greater one, a personality with the power to get whatever he desired, regardless of race, creed, or color. The sort of personality I shall endeavor to help every reader of this volume to attain. Forthwith, in compliance with the answer the man received to his question, he appointed himself to the high priesthood as God in person, and one and only true living God to all the people on earth. Whatever one may think of the man's choice of a definite major purpose, he cannot be charged with an inferiority complex. Now, before any conclusions are reached concerning this man's self-appointment to so high a station in life, let me give a briefing as to how far he has already gone in the attainment of his definite major purpose. Perhaps you will sober your judgment of him, and instead of condemning him as it just might be more beneficial if you find out something of the powers he adopted to raise himself to the high station in life he has thus far attained. The man gave himself the very impressive pseudonym of quote unquote Father Divine, and we'll read in the appendix more about him. And at the time of this writing, it has been said that he claims to have a following of over 30 million people. And here we're talking in the late 40s, mid 50s, maybe early 60s. He's located in practically every state in the country and in some foreign countries. As to the correctness of this claim, there seems to be no practical way to determine it, but there is very definite proof that these followers have, regardless of their number, made Father Divine one of the richest men in the nation. His money comes to him through voluntary gifts, often from unknown donators, and is free from government taxation. When the father desires to purchase an additional estate or anything else he chooses, he pays in cash, of which he seems to possess an inexhaustible supply. He travels in a chauffeur-driven Rolls-Royce automobile, and he sleeps in his own hotels in many of the cities he visits. So there is never any question of his getting hotel accommodations. And he operates businesses in a great variety of lines, all the way from push carts to dress shops and restaurants, with help that never goes on strike or demands higher pay because most of it is volunteer help. How much good or evil this man's opulence may bring to himself or others is of no concern here. And to make sure that you get the full dramatic meaning of the story as it fits into the mosaic of this volume, he assured that the author is neither one of Father Divine's followers, nor is it his purpose to sell the Father to his readers. However, it is the author's purpose to acquaint you with the nature of the miracle that this man has stumbled upon, perhaps by sheer chance, which gave him freedom from the handicap of his poverty and lack of education, and made him fabulously rich through a source of riches which cannot be stolen from him by any means known to man. You know what? That's about halfway through the preface, and I think we'll stop right here. Hoping to, my intention is to have these little readings to be on the order between 5 and 10 minutes a day, 5 days a week, Monday through Friday, and we'll continue from here next time. Interesting thoughts, though. Here's this man, Father Divine, using the idea of definiteness of purpose, using the ideas of the success philosophy, which Andrew Carnegie and so many other very successful individuals just shared with Napoleon Hill. And then he was able to write it down and to, as Earl Nightingale would say, gaff those ideas with a pencil onto a piece of paper. So with that, we'll close the book for today, set it aside, and get on with the rest of the day's activities. And in that, I want to wish you and yours all the best, wishing you a fabulous day of peace, of hope, of life, of living. Live today. Get out there and live. Really focus on things that you want and living your life the way you want and that you choose, and that then go make it happen. Go pay the price. You can do it. I have faith in you. All right. God bless everybody. God bless us, everyone. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.